Hey, Alien, how are you? I think I did that right. Can you hear me okay? Go, bye-bye. Go. Go sit down. Sorry, I had to get Diablo to mind his business. Ah, terrible. Oh well. Oh, so I modded you right, correct? I done it right. I sent Rick a message and told him I was going live, but I don't know if he got it or not. Oh, let me turn my notifications off. Hold on. Oh, you did get a notification? Cool. God, I hate having to wipe my nose. Sorry. I don't know what's up with this shirt. I don't want to lay right there. We go. Good enough. That's my son's little boy behind me on the wall. And that's my son. Thank you. I think you're the only one in here is what it's saying so far, so. Which I don't think it's 8 o'clock quite yet. Yeah, 8:02, but that's fine. Let's see if I can see his little girl. Let's see. Showing him baby girl. Ah, maybe. Well, let's see here if I can get it to where it don't blur. That's his baby girl. Or she's a little bitty. Did it show? I might have been shaking too much.
Out, Diablo.
Oh, there's two in here. Who's the little lingerer lurking in the back here?
Lurking. Not a lurker.
Hey, Harvey. I think I muted it. As soon as we get a few more people in here, we'll start. Does anybody have any questions or anything about my son, or that they want to know, or whatever? Hey, Mark. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Duo. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming by. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Just. Well, let's see. I can start off like he was born July the 12th of 95. When he passed, he was 24. He was just a basic kid, you know, all around decent kid. I mean, he got in trouble, like any other kid would, and uh, let's see. When he was about 14, I guess is whenever he started, you know, rebelling and acting out and wanting to do his little mischievousness and thought that he was a man or whatever, you know, how teenage boys are. They gonna do what they want to do, and mommy don't know until they in trouble. Then they want to call mommy. um, when he was about 14, no, he was about 15, getting ready to turn 16. He was the first time he was locked up. Was when he was in juvenile for a year and a half. Uh, just for skipping school and getting in fights and out here running amok. You know, just like I said, doing what teenagers do, and you know, Mama had to go pick him up from the jail, and because they done took him in, and he, you know, so I'd have to go get him 12, 1 o'clock at night because he done snuck out and they done caught him. When he got out of lockup, he was in lockup about a year and a half. Uh, he came home and got with his baby's mom, and they was together for 4 or 5 years, I guess. You know, they had Braden, his little boy, and Madison, his little girl. Uh, he still, you know, got in a little trouble here and there, but he pretty much had calmed down a whole lot. But him and her got in, you know, to the drugs like a lot of us do. And he went down a dark path there for a while with that. And he had moved to North Carolina a couple times with her and the babies. And his aunt down there, of course, had the babies taken away from him. And they snuck and come back to West Virginia. Well, of course, the aunt calls West Virginia and lets them know that they left North Carolina because she's supposed to have the kids. And they took the kids or whatever, and they was in CPS care for about 6 months or whatever until my son and his girlfriend at the time, God, here I am stuttering, y'all, sorry, got themselves together. And then, you know, they got the babies back, and he was doing really well, and he got back in with the wrong clique again. And he was, you know, out here just doing whatever he was doing, what he shouldn't have been doing. And I guess he left and moved to North Carolina after that. After he got the kids back up there, he was together about, I guess they'd had the kids back about a year or so whenever he had left and moved to North Carolina to go down there and get a job because he wanted to move her and the kids down there to maybe, you know, get away from the drugs and everything. Well, he got down there and was doing really good, and I, he called me one day and said, "Mom, I want to come back home." So of course, being mommy, I tell him, "Come on," and he comes back here, and I guess it was June, maybe yeah, around June of 2019, and come to stay with me, and was doing really well there for a long time. And he ended up running into one of his buddies, Dustin. And of course, Dustin, he was one that, was out there, is what I'm going to call it. He was wired for sound. You could have pulled radio stations up from him. Hi, Tommy. Hi, honeybees. Hey, Jen. Hey, Michelle. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the chat, guys. My bad. Let's see. Well, once he, of course, whenever he started running around with Dustin, is when me and him started bickering, because he knew that if he was staying with me where I was in the clinic and getting clean, he couldn't do it in my house. You couldn't bring it to my house, you couldn't do it in my house, you couldn't be high with it in my house. And so he started staying with Dustin for a while or whatever. And I guess right after Christmas, he came back to my apartment and was staying with us. And on December the 30th, or New Year's Eve, no, the day before New Year's Eve, he had actually overdosed in my bathroom. And I found him. So I go in, and of course, first thing I do is grab the shower head off the shower and turn it on cold water and start spraying him in the face, trying to get him to come to or whatever. I couldn't get him to come to, so I had to carry him out of my bathroom, soaking wet, and lay him on my floor, and I started CPR. And I done CPR for about 35 minutes before I hollered and had my neighbor to call 911. And come to find out, he had warrants. Well, when he goes to the hospital, they take him to the hospital or whatever. And when he gets there, undoubtedly he had gave him his brother's name, love his heart. And, everything was going good. They was going to release him or whatever from the hospital, and he was going to come back to the house. And, now mind you, before this, I guess I should say, before he had overdosed, he had been at my house for about 3-4 weeks, and he was clean. He wasn't doing nothing other than Suboxone. And his older brother and his girlfriend at the time had went up to the hospital. Well, don't you know this bitch, pardon my language, went and told the cops that Charles had gave them the wrong name and that he had warrants and blah, blah, blah. So she snitched on him, in other words. I've got any paperwork, I'll show it at another time. But, so they arrest him, take him to the jail here, and usually here, they're not in no hurry to take you to Beckley. They'll usually keep you here a day or two until they get enough people that they can, to transport. And I was told, his brother came by my house, and I said, well, here, take him some clothes. It was been about 3 or 4 hours. I said, take him some clothes up there to put on, because I know the ones that he had on was probably wet. Well, by the time that he had got up there, they had already transported my son. And this was about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. And mind you, it don't take but 30, 45 minutes to be transported from here to Beckley jail.
30, because they do 90 miles an hour.
And, well, it took them from about, I'm going to say 6 until 8:30 to sign him in at the jail. So, where was he for those 2 hours? That's one of my questions, just to the jail and to the police. Is, what was y'all doing within those 2 hours? And transport, it don't take that long. Of course, no answers yet, but, okay. Anyway, sorry. Hey, Looney. Nice to see you. Oh, that is, but, he got to the jail, like I said, on the 30th of December. I didn't hear from him or anything, and, which he had been talking to another girl that lived in North Carolina, and she had been talking to him. She was kind of keeping me updated with how he was doing and everything. And, on a Friday, he had called me, but I had missed the call. And I started waiting for him to call back, but he never did. And on January the 6th, my dad got a call from the Lieutenant Lilly that's at the jail up there, or was. I'm supposing he still is up there, but uh, they told my dad they had transported him out to the hospital for detox. He was detoxing. So my dad calls me and he says, "Sis, I want to let you know they got Charles at the hospital. The jail called and said they took him over for detox. But you need to call the lieutenant up there and speak to him." So of course I get off the phone thinking, maybe he's just dehydrated or whatever, because they don't take you out of there for nothing. And so I call up there and was talking to the lieutenant, and he told me, he says, "I just got off the phone with the hospital." And well, first he said, "Yes, we took him out for detox." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Was he all right?" And he says, "We don't know." He said, "But I just got off the phone with the doctor at the hospital, and they're saying that you need to come up there, that it could go either way." And I said, "What do you mean it could go either way?" Confused as hell, because, if he's detoxing, he should be all right. He may have diarrhea and vomiting and be dehydrated or whatever, but he should be fine. And he says, "Well, I'm just relaying the message to you." Okay, so I end up going to the hospital. And, when an inmate's at a hospital, they won't tell you that the inmate's there. And I didn't know where the ICU unit was or anything there, so they kept saying he ain't here, and I was like, bullcrap, I know he is. Well, I get on the elevator and start hitting every floor and running into every room and everything looking for him. Well, finally I found the ICU unit. And I had his younger brother and little sister with me. And they was like, "Are you going to use the phone to call back?" I said, "Uh-uh." I said, "I'm waiting for them doors to open." And mind you, I had security guards chasing me through the hospital, because I was like a lunatic going into other patients' rooms and shit. And so whenever the doors open, I just run straight back. Well, as soon as I went back, you take a left, and you can start seeing the patient's rooms. Well, I see my baby, and he's laying there, and he's got this big BiPAP machine on him. And I knew then that he wasn't there for detox. There was something wrong. Something more going on. And, sorry. So I go into the room, and I tell the CO that's with him, who I am, and so Lieutenant Lilly told me, that I could come up there, or whatever. And my son could barely speak, because he couldn't breathe. So I go out to speak to the nurse at the nurse's station. So I want to know what's going on with my baby. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. And when I go out to speak with this nurse, she comes over, and I ask her, what's wrong? Why is he, having such a hard time breathing and stuff? And she says, "Well, he's got a punctured lung. Every rib on the right side of his body is broken, and he has lacerations to his spleen." At that time, they said he had 3. And it said that he was septic, and that they think that he might have endocarditis. And I said, "Where's it going to be okay?" And she said, "Well, right now, it don't look good. It's grim." And I said, "Well, can you send him somewhere else, or, whatever, to another hospital?" Or she says, "Well, we're trying to get him stable now, and to see, if he needs to be transported out, or to see if we can keep him here. And we're still waiting on tests to come back." But she says, "He really needs somebody to be his power of attorney." And I said, "Okay." And she says, "Do you think that he would want you to do it?" And I said, "Well, we'll just go in and talk to him." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I want my mom to be my power of attorney." Well, we go out and I sign the paperwork, and everything for him. And I go back in to talk to him. And He kept saying, Mom, I want to walk down the hall with you. I said, you can't. You know, you need to just lay here and rest and get better. And he looks at me and he says, Mom, he says, they said that I could die. Or that just ripped my heart out. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Okay, sorry. So, you know, I said, no, I said, you're strong, son. I said, you're going to beat this. I said, you can't let them, listen to them, they don't know everything. You know, I said, you got this, son. I said, don't give up just because they're telling you that, you know, you might pass away. I said, you're not going to leave Mommy. I said, you can't.
Shut up.
And he smiled at me, he said, I love you, Mommy. I said, I love you too. Well, he called me Mama. He said, I love you, Mama. And I said, well, I love you too, son. You know, I said, nothing will ever change that. Because he kept saying he was sorry. I told him he didn't have anything to be sorry for. Well, he went there to try to roll over, and I seen, like, somebody's boot prints or shoe prints or whatever on his back. And I looked at the CEO and I said, did y'all see these? You know, because he's shackled to the bed and he could barely move. Anyways. And he says, yeah. He says, but they're saying that they've been there for a few days. I said, nah. It don't matter if they've been there a few days. Where the hell did they come from? That's what I want to know. And no answers, of course, there. And I was like, well, how long has he been this sick? And the CEO said, well, I found him this morning and called for medical to come down to check him. And he said we practically had to carry him to medical. And when the nurse got him over there, the doctor never came in. He never even seen a PA or nothing. They just put him in one of the medical cells, pretty much, and left him. And so they only let me have 30 minutes with him, and I had his brothers and, you know, his sister there that wanted to see him too. So I told him, I said, you know, I'm gonna go out because I was going to take pictures of his back and stuff, but they told me that if I tried to take pictures that I wouldn't be able to see him anymore. So I had to take my phone out anyways, and because I couldn't have it on me after that. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna let Austin and your Ree come back and see you, son. I said, I'm gonna take my phone to the car. So I go out and tell Austin and Bree they can go back and see him for a little bit. And I had to take my phone to the car. Well, they go back and talk to him, you know, and try to cheer him up just a little bit and encourage him. And they come out and they're both crying. And, you know, they ask me, so, Mom, is he going to be okay? And, you know, what do you tell them? I just, you know, I said, I don't know, I hope. You know, we just got to believe he is. And so I went back and told him I loved him, you know, and to get, you know, stay strong and that everything was going to be all right. I'm sorry, guys. And I told him I was going to come home and pack a bag and I was going to go up and sleep in the ICU waiting room so I would be there. Well, I went home and the nurse called and told me that they was having to sedate him because he was having trouble breathing, and they was going to go ahead and put in a chest tube for him. And I said, okay. And I said, well, I'm going to get ready and come back up. She says, well, just wait. Just see what the doctor says before you come back up here because we might have to transfer him. And so I sat around, I waited. And I guess around midnight I got the call saying they was going to fly him out. And of course, you know, being his power of attorney, I had to give permission and everything. So they flew him out around 2 o'clock that morning out of Beckley to Morgantown. And that was on the 6th of January. Well, that was the 7th. He went into the hospital on the 6th. And I went down the next day, or that morning or whatever, to Morgantown with him. And he woke up once before they sedated him real good down there. Whenever I walked in, and they said that was the first time that he had opened his eyes since he'd been there. You know, so, mind you, he was there from the 7th till the day he passed away on the 25th. But, you know, just to not knowing what really happened to him is what fucked up. And who knows if you'll ever get the truth, you know.
I mean, they should be sued just for not holding the evidence.
But, you know, this just shows how corrupt that these correctional facilities are. You know, I don't know if the police beat him and took him into the you know, and then took him and signed him in to the jail, or if he got jumped by inmates while he was in the jail, or if, you know, the COs beat the crap out of him, you know, because nobody has any answers, supposedly. Sorry, guys. Hey, Rocky. Hey, Zebby. Hey, Alexis. Amber. Hey, Anna. Hey, Karma. But, you know, yeah, he did wrong, you know. All kids do wrong. I don't give a damn who it is. Or even adults. Us as adults, we fuck up. We make mistakes. But they don't deserve to die just because you go to jail. You shouldn't have to fear of your child going in for a misdemeanor and dying, you know? Hey, Glamis. Hey, Rick. So does anybody have any questions right now or anything they want to know? Or I know my story's all chopped up right now and everything, but I promise there'll be videos and stuff about it, and it'll explain more. I'm just giving like a little brief summary and everything. Yeah, Lonely. Tell her to stay on them, to get an attorney if she has to, whatever. Don't give up. You know, don't just let him by with letting him pass without giving her answers. She deserves answers. And as a lot of y'all know, I was supposed to have court tomorrow. Well, that was changed. I got a call yesterday morning telling me that the medical facility that I'm supposed to be settling with it for this part of it filed bankruptcy. And my case was, of course, one of the main cases that was in the bankruptcy. And so now I'm having to wait and see if, you know, I don't even know what's going to come of this now. But, you know, if you have a loved one or whatever that's passed in prison and they haven't gave you any answers, and you feel in your gut that something happened that caused them to pass, don't let it go. Don't believe what the correctional officers or the lieutenants or whoever tell you. You fight for the answers that you deserve. And let them know, you're not going to sit down and take it. More people need to stand up for the ones that's passing away in these facilities and be a voice for them because they don't have a voice anymore. It, that's okay. You want to know what's on? Do you want to know what's on his death certificate, or do you want to know what really took his life? On his death certificate, which one day his kids will have to read, it says that he passed due to endocarditis, uh, stemming from prolonged IV drug use. Is what it says on his death certificate. Now his kids, mind you, will have to read this whenever they're old enough, or have questions or whatever. But in reality, what killed him is the septic that came from his spleen being ruptured. And your spleen don't just rupture for no reason. It takes a lot to rupture a spleen. And at the end of it, in his medical records, it states that he had 6 lacerations to his spleen. 6, not 3, 6. So you can only imagine the force and the blunt force that it took to rupture his spleen that many times. And his broken ribs, of course, and the punctured lung didn't help any. My gut tells me my baby was killed. I mean, plain and simple, he was murdered. And, they recently released that the medical examiner here, is under investigation because he was working with the jails to cover up all of this from all the inmates and stuff passing. He was putting like they had heart disease, or they died of a heart attack, or this and that, and it's not true. Hey Angie, good to see you, sweetie. I'm glad you made it. Well, my son was in 2020. My son was the first one to pass away. By the end of 2020, there was 15 deaths. That's not the ones that wasn't spoke about. These are the ones that was made public. My son's death was not made public because he actually passed in a hospital, but he was still in state custody. He passed on the 25th, and they released him from state custody on the 23rd. So they knew what was going on.
Oh, yeah, they did. All right, we'll be back.
All right, be careful. But in the last decade, there's been 135 deaths, I think. But that's just the ones that are accounted for. Those ain't the ones that's passed away after they've left that facility and ended up passing in a hospital. If they pass in a hospital, their name don't get added to that list, so they're not a number on there. Well, our governor issued a investigation into the jail here in like 2021, I think it was, maybe. And to get the investigating reports back, it takes at least 30 days after the investigation's complete. Well, we had them within, I think, like 4 days, and it said there was no wrongdoings at the jail, nothing found. to be a miss or, anything like that. And then come find out it's all a lie. The governor's covering his ass. Yeah, this is just Southern Regional Jail in Beckley, Beaver, West Virginia. You can look it up. Amber, honey, whenever I think that he wanted to tell me something is why he was wanting to walk down the hall at the hospital. Um, but he was so weak, he couldn't even talk without being out of breath, you know. And my main concern was, one second, guys. Sorry, guys. Are y'all still here? Can y'all hear me? Okay, sorry. But, you know, no mother or father should lose their child, ever. Especially, like my baby lost his life. You know? I mean, I feel for anybody that's lost a child. My heart goes out to anybody that has. You know? Because it's a pain that you'll never get over. You might learn to live with it and push it back a little bit and cover it up, but you never get over it. I mean, I just, how are you supposed to cope whenever you don't have answers to what really happened? And you just replay it over in your head, Or have the flashback. I can still hear my son and my last conversation play over my head like a record on repeat. Yeah, Tashanka, whenever you get, like I said, it takes a lot to rupture a spleen. And usually if your spleen is ruptured, it's from a really bad car accident. Hold on, guys, I can't see you. A lot of good it done to put makeup on, huh? Amber, honey, it's a pain you'll never get through. I mean, it's unimaginable. It's a pain that you'll never dream of feeling in your life until that happens. You know. Oh, thank you, Amber. I love you guys. I appreciate everybody that came. Did I miss anybody's questions or anything? If I did, you can put it back in the comments and I'll try to answer it. I tell everybody I'm a self-taught lawyer and a self-taught nurse because I have read over 5,000 documents on my son's medical and researched it, and I've researched and I was taking the criminal justice classes. I just had to take a break from it because I just can't do it right now. I can't concentrate enough to focus enough to retain all of it right now. So I took a semester off, but you know, when you sit and you have to read the medical records and the dispositions and everything, it it opens your eyes to a lot. Hey TNT, good to see you, honey. I hope you're doing good. It's been a long time. You've been in my thoughts. I hope you're doing okay. Sorry I'm snotting on all you guys. I don't mean to. Getting over being sick and crying don't help it. Oh, you guys are welcome. I've been telling everybody I was going to do it and do it, and I just, it's got to be done. You just got to suck it up and do it. Because if not, I'd never do it. You're welcome, TNT. I love you, Bubba. Yeah, Amber, that's mine, honey, if you want to. I don't mind. Yeah, this is going to be one of several, and I'm actually going to have others that's had family members pass away in the jail on here also later on. You're welcome, Rocky. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. It's been 4 years. It made 4 years the 25th. And the pain hurts just as bad today as it did the day that it happened. And it's just, if the pain's still here, like, why put it off? Just go ahead and get his story out there. Let people know what's really going on, what's really happening. Because if I can save one young person, or even, someone our ages, from going into that facility and dying, or being abused and neglected by the medical team there, then I've done what I've set out to do. I never want to have anybody lose their life at that facility again, And we've already had a couple this year that's already passed away there. Anything I can do to honor my son and to get his story out there and help somebody else, because that's who my son was. I don't care what you done to him, or, if y'all had issues or whatever. If something happened and you called him and told him that you needed his help, he'd been right there. So I know, he'd want me to help somebody else if I could, just to honor him. Yeah, TNT. It was in a Southern Regional Jail in Beaver, West Virginia. If you actually put my name in Google and put Bluefield, West Virginia, a little article will come up about my son. Yeah, I talk about my son even if it's just to myself every day, And I'll do it until I take my last breath. He was a person, he didn't deserve to die over a misdemeanor. I mean, come on. I mean, nobody deserves to die, even over a felony, unless you out here, you know, putting your fingers and your willy dillies in little babies and shit. Then take them out here and string them up to a tree and pour some fucking honey on their asses and put the ants on them. They'll do the job for you. Other than that, rehabilitate them. Jail isn't always the answer for everything. It's not. You can't throw a drug addict in jail and expect them to be recovered when you put them back out into the world. I mean, if you're not giving them the classes and the things that they need, what the hell do you expect? They're going to go out here and do it again and again. Why not put them, the first time they offend, go ahead and put them in that rehab. Offer it to them, Don't just lock them up and forget about them. It's bullshit. My son was my world. And I told everybody, hey, he's my best friend. I mean, no matter what I was going through, what he was going through, my baby was always there. From the time he was little, he didn't want to leave my side. But that's another thing that's wrong with the legal system is they want to throw the addicts in jail when jail isn't a place to throw the addict. A rehab is, I mean, what's they can get the same drugs in jail as they can out here. And they can in rehab facilities too. I know that. I ain't stupid. But at least offer it to them, Give let that be an option for the person. Hey, Weedy. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up in the chat here. I got the snubs. I'll help anybody I can, Mark, honey. That's for sure. I mean, it might not be a whole lot that I can do, but I try to do what I can. Oh, his hobbies? Working on cars and doing tattoos. My son was a self-taught tattoo artist and has worked on cars from the time he was old enough to stand beside of his stepdaddy out there under the hood. He loved cars. He loved drawing. He loved to cook with his mama and his babies. His babies was his world. When he was little, like even in preschool, you ask little boys or little girls what they want to be when they grow up. They'll say doctors, lawyers, nurses, a fireman. My baby would always say, I want to be a daddy. That was his dream. Whenever he was even little, he wanted to be a daddy. So, I'm just blessed that he got to experience that. Glenn was saying he anything to do with cars. You know, he worked as a mechanic in Carolina for a long time. As I said, that was his dream, was to work on cars and to do tattoos. In his medical report, the doctor was putting that he had a lot of tattoos, and you know he had given himself every tattoo that he had. That baby had put on himself, and it said that all his tattoos did not look like they was done at home or in jail. They all looked professional, like they was done professionally, and he was covered. Believe me, on his hands, his chest, his arms. Thank you, Mark. I know you are. I appreciate y'all guys so much. Y'all don't even know. Hey, Corrupt. Hold on, guys. I gotta blow my nose again. Sorry. I gotta have a cigarette, guys. Sorry. I was trying not to smoke while I was on here, but I've gotta have one. You know, they call Southern Regional Jail up here, you know, they call it a jail. I don't call it a jail. I call it the death dungeon. When you're sending them in there, you're sending them in there to die. You know, it's like you're sending them to death row. You're sending them to their death sentence, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. So I'm trying to catch up in the chat, guys. Sorry. Clemson, what would you like to hear about him? Anything in particular you want to know about him, or right now my mind's so jumbled. Or anybody? Is there anything y'all want to know about him that I haven't said? Or hey, Muffin Man. Hey, Bigfoot. He was handsome. He was the most handsome little boy ever. Always had a smile. He was 24 when he passed TNT. Hold on a minute, I'll get a picture. Can y'all see him? That's him with his little girl when she was born. He never wore a shirt, so almost every picture I have, he doesn't have a shirt on. Here's another one. Yeah, he was, and he was just, you know, getting himself together, or trying to, love his heart. You know, well, I hope so, Mark. I've had a lot of y'all to touch mine, you know. Some days, if it wasn't for some of y'all, I don't even know if I'd be here. So I appreciate a lot of y'all, especially the ones I talk to off of here. Y'all know who y'all are. I don't have to name you. I love all of you, though. Every one of you. Hey, Wayne. I love y'all too, Alexis. I'm glad you're here. I don't think we all ever have our shit together fully. Lonely. I mean, you know. We might all think we do, but we don't have it together fully ever, I don't believe. I'm 45 and I don't have my shit together. Thank you to Mark. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not as artistic as he is though. He had the drawing and the imagination. I guess I should say. How's Jacob doing, Angie, honey? Is he doing all right? Tell him I said hello next time you talk to him. Angie's husband is locked up as well, guys. He's in a facility not too far from me, actually. Tell him I send him my love. And as soon as I get a vehicle, I want to go see him, Angie. If y'all could put me on his list or whatever, or if he's still able to, before they transfer him from down here. I know they like transferring him a lot. We're actually is the position still going to Angie to get him out? Angie is a really good friend of mine from off of Facebook. Oh, thank you, Rocky. I appreciate it. It makes my day to see a lot of y'all go live, you know? Because sometimes that's the only interaction I have with actual people. I'm going to put that in my community post when we're done here, Angie. If you want to text me the link to the petition again, in the group, that way I have it. And I'm going to put it in a community post for Jacob. I'd love to go visit him. You know, Jacob is doing time for something he didn't do. He didn't even do it, and he's doing time for it. Over 20 years, and legit, the kid did not do it. Yeah, Tommy, I'm following. I've got a little geo tracker on you. He's already done 25, right, Angie? For a crime he didn't commit. He's doing time for somebody else because he took the rap for it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Love his heart. My heart breaks for him too. You know, I talk to you a lot. We text a lot, and I tell you all the time. You know, he don't deserve to be there. I wish I could just go down there and just bring him out. You know, if I could, I would. Believe me. I'd go hijacking. Yeah, and the brother's out here living his best life. We should throw that out there. His brother's not doing anything to try to help him get out or nothing. From what I can understand, he's just out here living his best life while Jacob's doing time for him. Jacob was still a kid when he went in, you know. In my opinion, I that's what I would call him. He was still a kid. And the only reason they won't parole him is because he hasn't completed all the programs. Well, how do you complete a program whenever you get transferred? And of course, when you get transferred, they put into your paperwork that you didn't complete the program. Well, how could you, whenever you was transferred from that facility, you couldn't complete it because you got to start over at the new facility. But that's another thing that's bullshit. They need to get that shit under control. I love you guys too. More than you guys know. No, Wayne, I don't think his brother's really doing anything for him that I can gather. He's worried about him. See, Jacob was 19 whenever he was locked up, still a baby. Younger than my baby was. Angie, I want to get you on here sometime too, and maybe we could tell a little bit of Jacob's story, get his story out there. Even if we have to do it, record it or whatever. You know, I'd like to get his story out there and let everybody know what's going on with him too. I know he's not in a, it didn't happen in West Virginia or nothing like that, but his story deserves recognition. I mean, people that's doing time, this kind of time, and it's petty charges, man. Like, sex offenders get out within 2 to 7 years usually. You know what I'm saying? And murderers getting out, but they keep them, the ones in there that's got the small charges for 20, 30, 40 years. Where the fuck is that fair at? That shows that society's fucking messed up in the head. Oh, I'd love to get Jacob on. That would be amazing. I'd like to. We'll have to talk to him, and then we'll bring him on after we all talk or something. That way he's not so nervous. I don't want him to be nervous. Yeah, I couldn't live with myself if I knew that someone was in there doing that much time for me, and I'm not even sending him $1 on his fucking books. Come on now. Fuck you is what I tell him. He deserves to breathe fucking rotten milk air out of a jug. Hey Barry, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, a lot of people don't know how dirty a lot of these facilities are. You know, you think your kid's an addict or whatever, your loved one's an addict, and they got arrested. Well, and you know, because you're worried about them when they're not around, and they're out here running amok. And you think, oh, you know, at least they're locked up. I know where they are. They're gonna be safe for the night. No, honey, you better worry about them more when they go inside that behind them locked doors. Yeah, Angie is one of Jay Williams's real good friends in life, not out on here or social media. They're actually really friends, and that that have been for years and years. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you and Jacob are definitely family, Angie. But I might not never met you in person or nothing, but we talk enough and we know enough about each other that our hearts break for each other. I think we cried with each other every time we kind of talk. Jacob, he don't deserve it. Just like he don't deserve being there. Just like my son didn't deserve to die like he did. Both those kids was dealt a shitty fucking hand. I guess people's getting bored with me. They're leaving me. Thanks to everybody that's sticking around though. We actually have an innocence project here, Mark, and they're actually doing stuff for the facility for the about the jail or whatever. But you know how long how long that stuff takes. I mean, it's just a process. Yeah, everybody keep Mark and his or Tashanka and his wife Amy in y'all's thoughts and prayers. Amy got a little bit of news today that wasn't very good, but we're all rooting for her, and she's got this. It's gonna come out all right. She's a strong lady. She's got this. Her next tests are going to come back okay. I believe in my heart that they are. That's cool, Wayne. I'm glad that you stopped in though. I appreciate it. They really are, Rocky. Those two are their love is something that I can only dream of. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of love that we dream about, or we think happens in fairy tales. Hey, Doug, good to see you, Bubba. I'm glad that you came. Let me see if I got a picture. See. I was looking to see if maybe I had a picture that had his tattoos, but I don't have one in here. I'll have to go get one, and I'll show it next time. I'm glad you could stop in, Doug. I love you, son. I hope you're doing alright. Yes, sis, you can share it. I don't care. That's fine with me. I appreciate it if you do. Anybody wants to share it, you feel free to. Even though I'm sobbing and snotting and 90% of it. Sorry, guys. I lost my... Lord, I'm losing everything today. What the heck? Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. lay it down somewhere again? What the world? I guess I'm, I had my vape and I don't know what I'm doing with it now. Oh well. Did it fall? Oh. It'll reappear here in a minute. Right where I said it. Oh, thank you, Glamis. I appreciate it, sis. I've aged 10 years into the last 4, though. Really, I have. Brandon, are you still in here? That is just weird. I don't know what the heck I could have done with my vape. I thought I had it right here beside me. Who knows? I just smoked one more cigarettes. Forget it. Will you do me a favor and post Rocky's and Corrupt and Tommy's and hold on, let me look, and Karma's and Tashanka's channels in here, please, and Anna's, and do your brothers and Gangish's too, please, if it's not too much. Oh, thank you, Rocky. I enjoy making them. It just gives me something to do to pass time and to keep my mind occupied. You guys, if y'all want, y'all can go subscribe to these channels. These are people that I watch every day and talk to every day. They're really good people and have really good stories. Mark has a lot of good stories that he tells on his lives and his videos. We do a lot of bullshit and bingo over at Anna's. We do the workout and ride along with Rocky. Let me see if I can do this again, Anna, honey. Hold on. Y'all know I'm new at this, so y'all just got y'all bear with me. Alright, let me know if that works. I might not have done it right. I'm glad y'all like them. I really am. And if anybody needs a logo or whatever, or, you know, made, just send me a message. And Glamis knows how to get in touch with me. Anna does. Rocky does. Tashanka. I mean, you know, just... And they'll get you in touch with me, and I'll make one for you if you need it. I don't mind. Thanks, Rocky. I appreciate it. I kind of feel, I don't know, out of sorts, I guess. Awkward. God, my double chin, y'all. We gotta get rid of that. Let's hold that sucker back for a minute. And that sucker start gobbling like a turkey. It's Anna, it's Wanda W. Purdue. My cash app is, but don't nobody feel obligated to send anything or nothing like that. I don't expect, I'm here just to get my story out and the hopefully help others get their stories out and hopefully prevent this stuff from happening to anyone else. Oh, thank you, Alexis. I'm just self-conscious, always have been. Yeah, it's helped me. I can feel like a little bit of a relief, the tension lifted off my shoulders, Rocky, really, honestly. I love my baby. I'd give anything to bring him back. Yeah, or you can, sis, I just made you a mod. But nobody has to feel obligated to send me anything. Oh, he's got the colic now, Angie, honey, but he's doing better. Little feller, love his heart. Precious as can be, though. Just all around little handsome little stud muffin. That's what I call him. My little mini man. It's $sign WANDA WPERDUE.
Hold on.
Hold on, guys. Give me just. Let me make sure my phone's still. Okay, yeah, I'm on 53%. Oh, is it raining? Here, D. Come here. Here's my big baby. Come here, look. See, look at me. D. Look right here. Look. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. He's gonna be a pain. Give me just a second, guys. I gotta put him in his kennel. He's wet. Shit. Sorry, guys. I didn't want him jumping all over everything soaking wet. Oh, he's a handful. Worse than a 2-year-old. Oh shoot, did I put on a filter or something? Sorry. Yeah, love fishing. Like doing the catfish tournaments. They're on the ceiling right now. Yeah, little Diablo's the one that belonged to my son that passed away, so he's got a little special place in my heart, you know. I don't know, Wayne. What did they dream of? Down, my droopy. Down, my big fat
Down,
head.
down.
Like, get down.
Down, Droopy.
Get down, fat
Come on.
head. Big galoot. He wants to come give Mama some loves.
You need to go out now. Hold on. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, he's a big one. He's 125 pounds. But he's the baby though, believe it or not. He's so gentle, you know. The other one, he's rough. Oh, Mark, you've always been kind to me, you know, and I understood. You've got a lot going on too. I'm glad you can make it. Yeah, that's funny, Sashaka. You know, yeah, pits have a lot of hip and back problems, and joint problems anyway. It's just genetic with them. But I have found that some their hip and joint shoes, and actually the Dollar Tree carries them, that helps him a lot with his joints and hips and everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody in here gets along pretty good for the most part. The CBD chews for animals is good too. They work pretty good, especially the common ones. They're my favorite breed, Mark. I don't think I'll ever own another breed unless it's, I don't know. I like Rotties pretty good. I had a Rottweiler when my son was little, and he was a great little dog. So I like them pretty good, but pits are my favorite. They get a bad rep though, you know. But it's not them that's the problem. It's the people that's raising them and how they're raising them. Did I miss Wesley in here? Is he in here? I haven't seen him either. I think he's got something going on. I'm not sure. I hope he's alright though. Hey Wishbone. Good to see you. I'm glad you came in. I was able to make it over. Hey, but I'd rather be late for my funeral than than anything, you know. Keep staying late for it. As long as you're late, you'll never get there. Oh, okay. Well, tell him I said hi, Tommy, if you talk to him, please. Well, guys, we've been going for an hour and a half. I'm probably boring y'all. It's Wanda W. Purdue, Anna, honey. Oh, thank you, Glamis. You can flood my comments anytime, darling. I don't mind. I hate that Wishbone just got here, though. I'm going to hang out a few more minutes because he did just come in. You doing alright, Wishbone? Make it home safely? My Cash App, you didn't put the W in it. But it's okay. I don't... I wasn't even going to run it. You know... I just want to get my some story out there and let people draw their own conclusions of what they think happened. And what, you know, let them know how these facilities really do treat these people. They're, you know, I can't call them inmates. I hate to be called someone an inmate. They're a person. They have a name just like we do. You know, their mom and daddy named them just as well as our mom and daddy named us. That's our Ennis. I'm glad to hang out with y'all too. I'm glad y'all came over and oh, I know, Anna, honey, no worries. And hung out for a while, you know. I'm glad y'all came and listened to me cry. Yes, Wishbone, I do. Actually, a couple. No, Glamis, I don't know. I just, you know how I am, Glamis. We've talked, you know. I'm a helper, not a asker. um, Angie, honey, I've done so much, but I don't think I've actually done one with the DOJ yet. And I'm glad you brought that up because I was meaning to, and it's probably one of the things that did slip my mind. Wishbone, they really are. I mean, it's unreal how many deaths are actually covered up or not spoken about. And a majority of the ones that's not spoken about is because they didn't actually pass in the facility. They passed at a hospital. And they don't have to be added to the list of people who has passed while incarcerated. But I don't see why they don't have to be, because they're still in their custody. So they should be, have to be put on that list, but they're not. Yeah, a lot of people are forgotten. They don't have anyone. They don't have a family member that will write them. Nobody they could call. Nothing. It's sad. I wish I could go in and the ones that don't have anybody, you know what I'm saying, that talks to them or writes them or whatever. I'd love to be able to just go in and speak to them for 30, 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Just let them know that there's somebody out here that cares. Okay, Angie, that sounds good. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. My Reddit? I don't even remember what my Reddit is, sis. Oh, my article, all you have to do is Google my name and put Bluefield, West Virginia, and it'll come up. Yeah, Wishbone, that's what I was telling everybody earlier. They're letting out these pedophiles and the murderers that, killing these innocent elderly people, and, you know, they're doing 5, 10 years and they're out. And then the ones that's done these little slap that they should be just slapped on the hand for, they're doing 15, 20 years or losing their life. Thank you, Ollie, and I appreciate you dropping the links for me. Um, Wayne, if you don't know my name, my actual name, it's Wanda Purdue. And all you have to do is type in Bluefield, one word, West Virginia, and it should pop up. It'll say State of Man, says he suffered in his final days, is what should pop up. If someone could find it and post a link in the comments, that would be great. I should have did that before, but I just now thought of it. I love you too, Duet. You doing all right, sweetheart? I gotta get Jacob's address again from you, sis. I've got a card here I want to send him. It's as tough as a mother. No, he didn't get sick, Wishbone. He was beaten, more or less, in my opinion. Of course, it's being covered up, but he had 6 lacerations to his spleen and broken ribs and a punctured lung and several other things. But they let him lay there and turn septic at the jail before they took him to the hospital. And then the septic got so bad that it turned into endocarditis, which is what ultimately took his life. Let me see if I can find Alexis on here. Um, there you go, Alexis, honey. You can drop it now. Sorry. Thank you. Wayne, that's the link to a little bit about my son's story. You know, my son didn't just leave me behind and his brothers and sisters and his dad and grandpa and him. He left two babies behind, and you know that's what hurts me is they're having to grow up without their daddy, and they was babies. You know, like let's see, his son was 5, I think, and his little girl was 4 when he passed. So they're going their whole lives to have to grow up without their daddy. They graduate without their daddy. His daughter will get married without her daddy. You know, it's messed up. It shouldn't be like that. She don't get the daddy daughter dances at school, and you know. And his little girl was his princess, man. His little boy was the sunshine in his eyes, and his little girl was his princess. I mean, he loved his babies. Oh, I'm sorry I missed him. Dang, that's sorry, Wesley. I didn't see your comment or anything. My bad. Yeah, Wishbone. That's what makes it hard. You know, how do you expect someone to try to heal and cope whenever they have no answers, no true answers to what happened to their baby or their child?
Not even being held liable at all for nothing.
Yeah, and like the jail really isn't being held accountable for nothing that happened to my son. You
They
know.
don't even have to answer any questions. Don't want
I didn't even see if she answered. Yeah, I mean, look at poor Alabama. At this poor guys in those prisons down there. They're being treated horrible. I mean, worse than here, and that's saying something. They're being starved to death down there and everything, and it's like they just don't care. The facilities are out for the money. That's all they're out for. That's all they care about. That right there. As long as that's coming in, they give two shits less about what happens. Yeah, Angie, they did, and they fucked me up mentally for the rest of my life. I don't think our facility's privatized. I think it's state owned. It's federally owned. Sorry, guys, I gotta blow my nose again. Because they have a lot of the federal inmates in Southern Regional as well. Like I said, if I can prevent, or help somebody that else is going through this or whatever, that's what I want to do. Because a lot of people don't even know where to start when something like this happens. They don't know where to begin to start to get answers or what, steps they need to take to to find out anything. And I've helped a lot of people from my Facebook group, get started in the right direction that's lost their loved ones and stuff. get with an attorney and everything. Because you just can't lay down and take it. A lot of people and families have, just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Not let it go, but they didn't know what to do, more or less. Didn't know what they could do. They was just lost. And I don't want anybody to feel lost. I want them to know, that there's stuff that can be done, whether it gets publicity or not. At least put your foot out there. Be a voice for your loved ones. Let them know, you're not going to just sit down and take this. That our loved ones had names and were people too. That they mattered to us. They might not have mattered to them, but they mattered to us. Yeah, Wayne, somebody knows something. I mean, he was in a pod with, God, 18, 20 men, because they're in this big pod and then they each have, the 2-man cells that each have 5 people in it. Sleeping on boats and sewer water or toilet water running out and they're having to lay in it. And it's sad. Being fed semen sandwiches, pardon my language, but no, you're not getting up here. No. Be good boy. Be good boy. Be good. Be good. Thank you. Sorry, my big one was trying to get my attention. Oh, Alexa, that's a funny story. Yeah, they have cameras. But you want to know what they tell you when you ask them about them? They're not timed or date stamped, so they don't know where to even begin to rewind them back to even look to see what might have happened. Now tell me that's not some bullshit. Yeah, Jen, I've been working on that, but that's kind of hard to do right now with everything that's been going on at the jail up there. And now they're trying to make it to where they don't even put that they're not even gonna put their mugshots in West Virginia. If you get arrested, they're not even gonna put your mugshot online for nobody to know that you was arrested. So just say if my loved one was out there, say if my oldest son gets out here and gets arrested, and I don't have any contact with him or haven't heard from him, I wouldn't even know if they're not putting his mugshot on. I wouldn't even know if he was arrested. You know what I'm saying? Unless he was to call me or something. That's exactly what I said. Told him Alexis will rewind it from the minute they brought him into that facility. You know what I'm saying? They said that he came in there complaining with trouble breathing and stuff. Why didn't you send him out to the hospital then instead of putting him in a cell and letting him starve for 6 days? He didn't eat for 6 days. And then decide to take him to medical and send him out. And if it wasn't for a nurse there that worked there at the time, she doesn't work there anymore, but he would have never went out to a hospital. They'd have let him lay there until he passed. I don't know, Jen, honey, maybe. It's a total shit show. Is what it is right now. It's all chaotic. Like I have all the dispositions and everything that from where the medical personnel was questioned and stuff about my son. And the one nurse, she said that she had to quit because she couldn't work there anymore after what happened to my son. She said when she seen him, he looked like a little child, fragile child, is what he looked like to her.
Peaches.
Maybe in a minute. Is there a drink?
No, oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I hope so, Wayne. That would that would be a prayer answered. You know, a dream come true is for somebody to come through and tell me the actual truth. But you know, they've got those inmates. I hate calling them inmates. Oh my God, they've got the people so scared there to speak. You know, because they're scared it's going to happen to them. You know, I mean,
There was one I bought a cold one.
I just want to see it.
Oh, you can have it. Let me drink one. I'll hold it.
Yeah, Wishbone. That's what, you know. Whenever I started this whole thing, and I've told Anna and everybody this, you know, for me it's not about the money. I give a shit less about the money because to me it's like blood money. It's me telling them that it's okay that they let my baby die. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me the fucking answers I'm asking you to give me. Be truthful. Don't, you know, pull your big boy pants on and be a man or woman, whatever, and tell the freaking truth for once in your life. Wayne, I do. I know one guy that he was in there with me, and I had known the guy personally for years. But every time he sees me, he runs the other direction. He won't even speak to me. Yeah, Angie. You know, they can only when you're in a facility like this, and even though you know what went on, you're told that, you know, if you say anything, that you will be the next one. You know, so, you know, they scare them into keeping their mouth shut, and it's sad. Because I'm the type of person that, you know, I'm not a snitch by no means. But if I was in a facility and seen a young man either get beat or whatever, my ass is gonna tell some fucking body. I don't give a damn who it is. After I help the person that's getting the shit beat out of them or whatever, you know, they gonna have to beat on me too because I ain't gonna let them just beat on that one. Not gonna happen. Yeah, uh, yeah, Jen. As long as I want his babies to be taken care of, you know, whenever they get old enough and can be their own people and they're, you know, of the age they can make their own decisions, you know, right, wrong, what they should do and shouldn't do. I want to be able to have a little something to say, hey, you know, my dad didn't die in vain. You know, my my dad. This is from my dad. You know, every time they're able to go buy themselves something with whatever they get out of it, they can say, you know, my dad got helped me get this. It's my dad's why I got this. Yeah, Glamis, I'm just not one that's going to stand by and let anybody get beat on. I don't care who they are. Even if I don't like you and you're my worst enemy. If I see a bunch of people jumping on you and there's nobody there to help you, my ass is jumping right on in there with you. We could fight about our problems later. Yeah, the truth. And you know, it's something I've about come to accept that I'll probably never get the full truth of what happened to my son. You know what I'm saying? But maybe me stepping up and letting everybody else know it's okay for you to speak up for your loved one. Don't be scared. Don't worry about what the repercussions that might come down on you. You know, that maybe it it'll prevent it from happening to someone else, or that it'll give someone else the courage to step up for their loved ones. Wayne, believe me, if I get my hands on the dude, he's gonna tell me one way or another. Hey, real men wear pink. Thanks, Angie, honey. I love you, and I'm here for you and Jacob too. You know that. If there's anything I can ever do to help Jacob, you know, I'll do it. I mean, if I need to write a letter to the governor every day or to the warden every day, let me know. You know, we'll get it done. I'll open up 50 more email accounts and we'll email them from every one of them. No, I haven't spoke to Delete Laws Wishbone. I've never even heard of them before. But I'd be interested in it. I love you too, Glamis. I love all of y'all though. Hey, Bigfoot. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Wayne. He actually lives about 15 minutes from me. But I don't have transportation right now, so it's kind of hard for me to do anything. But as soon as I do, you can bet I'm going to go knock on his door. Come and knock on my door. I got a gift for you. I'm serious, Angie. If we need to whatever, you know what I'm saying, to help him at all, let me know. Angie, if you want, you can drop your group link in the comments. Your Facebook group link for people that want to go over and read his story and to find out more about him, you know, and what's going on. Oh, now, come on. What are you talking shit about? You ain't in this conversation, big boy.
I'm here. Come on.
I definitely will, Wishbone. Hold on. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Oh, heck yeah. Now, let me find a piece of paper that I can write on that I ain't already wrote on. There we go. Let me find that again. Just a second, guys. Oh, I'd rather do it myself because that way, Wayne, there's no he said, she said, or I seen and heard, you know. Okay, Jen, yeah, text it to me. Or message it to me on Facebook, either one. Hold on, guys, I gotta plug my phone in. Y'all might have to see the ceiling for a second. If I can't find the... There we go, never mind. Oh, excuse me. Oh, thank you, Glamis. I love you, girl, you know that. This is my first live, Wishbone. I mean, I've got on Anna's lives before and stuff. Yes, that's me, the number you just texted. I just got your message. Not possible, Glamis. Oh, well, thank you. You need to go do you a channel, Wishbone, and go live. So I bet you've got a lot of interesting stories to tell. Just from what you've been saying in the chat, you know, and other chats. I'd watch them and come over and hang out with you when you're live. Y'all see my vein popping out in my head here? Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Yeah, it took a lot. And I'm sure in about all of the videos I'll be emotional in them, you know, telling his story and stuff. But it's a story that people need to hear. And hopefully it'll help someone, if it's just one, you know. That's very true, Mark. We all have a story. You know, we all come from somewhere. And you never know. It might just be the simplest thing to you that you say to somebody that would help them in more ways than we can even imagine. Thank you, Alexis. I appreciate it. That means a lot. I love you, girl. Shit ain't deep till it's up to your neck. And then you still got your arms free to dig yourself out, so, you know, can't never get too deep. Yeah, there's a lot of love in it in a lot of the communities that we hang out in. Y'all look at how my big boy's sitting. He's so funny. Say hi. Say hi. Say hello. He knows whenever you're talking about him, buddy. He wants to be right up on you. Yeah, my big boy. Yeah, he is. Clean your little eye. Here, I'm gonna wipe your eye. Wipe that sucker out. Yeah, there we go. Got that clean face now. Yeah, he does. Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. You can't drink no Mountain Dew, boy. It'll get you all jacked up. A lot of people that we talk to on here, though, have beautiful hearts, you know, like, and they're all caring and understanding. And then there's others on here that you just like to take and put your fist down their throat, make them shut up. You show a lot of love to a lot of people too, Wishbone. Don't you know? You gotta give yourself a pat on the back and some recognition there, because you know I see what you do for people, and in the background I ain't always talking and chatting, but I'm always watching. It sounds like something Jay Williams would say. I'm always watching. Everybody needs to give Wishbone a pat on the back and let him know what a good person he is, because he is. He's a really good guy. He deserves a lot of props. He's helped a lot of people. And I'm just thankful that he's here, you know, to talk to in the chat. Shoot, that means the world to me. You can post it, Glam Assist. It'll let you post it now. It should. Wishbone's my dude. Yeah, don't nobody mess with him now. You'll make Yolanda come out. Yeah. Yeah. Tell him. You gonna talk? Droopy. You gonna talk? Come here. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it, sis. I know you didn't, sis. It's all good. All good in the hood. Mark's my brother from another mother. Y'all need to show him some support too, and Miss Amy, keep her in y'all's thoughts, y'all, for real. They're going through something right now, and I ain't gonna put it out there or nothing, but they need all the thoughts and prayers they can get right now. Girl, you see all them grays up in there? I ain't dyed my hair in a hot minute. But thank you. I'm making Mr. Wishbone a mod in here, y'all, so he can post it and do what he needs to do. You see somebody needs knocked in the head, knock them in the head. Actually, Anna, it's a brown, but with the lighting in here, I guess it does kind of look like a purplish color. I just see the grays. Good gosh. They're actually silver, Alexis, and my grandmother, she was full Navajo Indian, and her hair didn't turn gray until she got really sick right before she passed away, and it turned silver. And mine's getting silver just like hers. I got the skunk stripe, and I have to keep that part dyed a lot because if not, I'll have one silver stripe between my eyes, like the widow's peak here. See where it's pointy? That whole thing will turn gray. But I have earned every gray that I have, believe that. And I've had gray hair since I was 16 years old. Oh, man, I gotta get that tissue. I didn't have a full head of gray hair, Karma, but I've had gray hair since I was 16. Well, ladies and gents, we've been going for 2 hours. I think it's time maybe we cut it and we'll schedule another one. Oh, excuse me, for one day next week maybe, or this coming up week we might do another one if y'all want to. And, if y'all have any, maybe if y'all can think of any questions you might have or that y'all didn't ask today, we'll handle those on the next one. I appreciate everybody that showed up and came over and supported and the questions that was asked, and everybody was real polite in the chat tonight. That's awesome. Sweet dreams, Alexis. Okay, Angie, if I don't text you, text me. Thank you, Wishbone. I appreciate you coming over. Everybody have a good one. Y'all want to do another one later in the week, like the beginning of next week, or y'all want to wait for the weekend? Thank you, Karma. Okay, sis, I will. Let's see, today's what? Wednesday? Today Wednesday? No, today's Tuesday. My bad, see? I don't even know what day it is. Let's shoot for Friday, maybe Saturday. I'll put it in my community, though. Just keep an eye out for it.
Oh, this guy died.
Thank y'all. Thanks, Mark and Wishbone.
This one died.
Aww. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. Hopefully you'll come to the next one. I love all of y'all, and I appreciate every one of you. more than any of you know. Y'all guys remember, stay away from the fucking fuckery of the correctional facilities in this world. Keep it. If you whatever you do it on the DL. Right, Mark? Thanks. I guess I done okay other than snotting on all of you. That's right, Angie, honey, fuck the system. Especially the dirty one people that's in there is, you know, I mean, I know there's good correctional officers, don't get me wrong, and I know there's good police officers. They're few and far between, but there are, you know, semi-good ones out there. But there's more bad than there is good, and they're overrun by the, you know, bullied by the bad ones. So, you know, they're stuck too, kind of like the inmates. They're scared to say anything. Afraid of retaliation. Yeah, I've been slinging snot hard. It's alright though. It's always good to have a good cry every once in a while. Sometimes once a day if you feel like it. If that's what you need to do. I say if that's what you need to do, then do it. God knows I do. Yeah. Alright guys. Well, I'm going to shoot for Saturday evening around 8 o'clock. Is what time I'm going to say. Is that good with everybody? Yeah. I don't want to get off, but I need to. My back's starting to hurt. I got to straighten it out and pop it and... Oh, thank you, Mark. I send you and Amy the biggest hugs, too. Tell her she's in my thoughts, and if she needs someone to talk to, tell her to reach out. I'm always here. And I've had to go, I went through the same situation that she's going through here now. So, you know, if I can give her any advice or whatever, if she has any questions, tell her, you know, feel more than free to message me. Okay, Wayne, sounds good. Night, Glamis. Oh, I'm sorry I made y'all cry. It makes me feel bad, but, you know, sometimes it happens like that. Especially with stories that, you know, is hard for somebody to tell, and they're already emotional telling it, so, and it's just a painful story to, you know. Alright, everybody, I'm going to close this one out. Y'all have a good one. I hope everybody be safe, stay warm, and keep your heads up, and be good. Oh, whatever you do, be good. And if you're not good, be good at it, at least. Love y'all.